Hello and welcome, Jana Kerima Stolzer and Lex Rütten, to our video interview as part of the digital program of KREATIVCAMPUS.RUHR. My name is Claudia Weber, and today I want to talk with you about you as a duo, your project Pawāaraibu, Filling the Vacuum, and your fellowship from the Academy for Theatre and Digitality in Dortmund. Okay, so let's start. For a short introduction, who are you as artists and persons? And yeah, do you have interesting hobbies?
Yeah, good question. And hello, so I'm Jana, this is Lex, and yeah, we have been working together as an artist duo for more than 4 years now. And yeah, currently our artistic projects take place at the interface of classical exhibition space and theater stages. But originally we both studied fine arts in Münster and Düsseldorf, and yeah, together we started to do performances and scenic installations. So a huge interest in theater spaces developed. And yeah, for your hobby question, so as persons, we are very addicted to music and dancing culture. So in our free time, we're doing DJing under the alias.
Cool.
Yes, we are Alice and Bob, and yeah, only the name is a bit connected to our artistic work, but in general, I would say DJing is really a hobby, or isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, nice. And yeah, can we hear something in the internet, or is it just for live concerts?
Yes, for sure. We have a SoundCloud. Yeah, we can send you the link, and so we can show it to everybody. But you find it when you search for Alice and Bob and DJ and Dortmund, and then there are lots of mixes from our music, and yeah.
And you have been working as a duo for 4 years now. And yeah, what are the main topics of your work?
In general, I would say we are interested in the interconnection between machines, humans, and nature, how they work together, how they maybe generate and deconstruct each other, and also where are similarities and differences in perception. Since we work together, we also try to shift viewing angles, like how would a machine perceive our reality or our environment, or how does a hive network, a network of mushrooms through a forest, how does it work, and how would it maybe describe its being? So this gives us also opportunity to think in many different directions and to work with this. And this also started already when we did our first duo work, which was a sound installation 4 years ago that told the story of an asteroid crashing the Earth, and we imagined how Earth would rebuild itself in the sound piece, and yeah, how would this look or sound like? And this was already the starting point for us to write narratives that connect our research in any topic with maybe our imagination, and to write then stories from this.
Yes, that sounds really interesting. Okay, and your latest project in Mozilla Hubs was Pawāaraibu, kind of a, yes, maybe post-apocalyptic impression of the Earth from an interesting and new point of view. Yeah, please tell us more about the story and the creation of Pawāaraibu.
Yeah, so I really start with our starting point, because yes, we are located in the Ruhr region, and we are confronted with the history of industrialization, mining, and the consequences. And so there are big leftovers in the ground that are big holes, and they are everywhere where coal was mined, and these holes would be flooded with groundwater, resulting in subsidence of the surface on which we move. And that's a fact which is totally present here. And yeah, and after a while, without the mining, and the Pams, the region, would end up as a lake district. And there's one word which we found out, and that's why there is a promise of eternity. And it's a really word which is connected to the Ruhr region, promise of eternity. And we asked ourselves, what is that? And it's a promise that said that the winners of mining would have to bear the burden of eternity. So in concrete terms, that means that all those who profited from the resources must now maintain and operate the pumps that transport the groundwater out of the holes of the ground. And so that was our starting point, this promise. So we asked ourselves what would be in the future with this promise. And so we imagined this scenario in a way. So a poetic promise that even exists when human being left the world. So that was the starting point and of the Pawāaraibu narration. And so all the episodes are located in a future where only nature, machines and maintenance creature populates the earth. So and the main character is not a human, so it's an artificial intelligence that flies around and it's in the body of a drone, or a really small drone that collect and archive data from Earth. So, and the individual episodes, they show the environment through the eyes of the drones. In a way, you become the drone. So it's a change of the body in a way. So you're not any longer the human being. So we try to show the perception of a machine in a way. And so it's instead of the human perspective, we try to do a reversal. So the body machine tells you the story in a way. And and in the different episodes, we explore different environments in a way. And so the first try was to show the Ruhr region with this promise of eternity and the mining thing, the holes and the future. And with the second episode, we wander through to an open mining place. And it's, maybe you know it, it's close to Cologne and Mönchengladbach. There are really these open mining places where resources were put out, and and it's very there is a brutality within all this, and it's really it's very interesting how they deal with nature there. And in a way it tells the same story like here in the region, so but the Ruhr region in a way is further in future, because here it's ended and there it's really it's now. So, and you see how they recultivate nature and how they do an artificial landscape, how they erase history. And so this was then the starting point for the second episode, and we try to find kind of ways to see it not only as a negative thing, the resource burning thing. It's maybe there are potentials too, because after everything is burned down and put out, so maybe there's space for something new in a way. So
okay, that's interesting. So it's kind of a museum for what was on Earth, and where are the humans?
In a way, yes, I would say so. But we don't try to ask the question, where are the humans? So it's more the question for or the question is, look at your environment, look at the potential, look at all these forms, and look at or it's not only about the human, it's more about the triangle between human, technology and nature. And so you cannot only perceive human beings, so you have to see nature and technology as well in a way.
So nobody knows where the humans are now.
Yeah, maybe out in space. I don't know, but this is really an open question in the whole series, and yeah, I think we will not answer it.
Mysterious. And with this project, you were part of a 5-month fellowship from the Academy of Theatre and Digitality. Would you like to say a few words to this fellowship program and, yes, maybe to the Academy? What's the whole thing about the Academy for Theatre and Digitality? And yeah, what were your experiences?
The fellowship program in general was a total blast because next to meeting great artists, we were in a group of 9 artists from different backgrounds, from theater background, but also from fine arts background, video works, other digital or artificial intelligence stuff. It was super interesting to meet these people, and next to finding new friends and connections, the place is very fruitful working area. You can imagine it like you would imagine Google co-working space would look like a really open thing where you can meet and can interact together, but there are also like about 6 laboratories, small stages that can be used very flexible to fill it up with any technical stuff needed. There's a huge amount of technical stuff, computers, cameras, yeah, and this opened up a whole bunch of potentials for us that was quite overwhelming at some point. But also it was nice because we already started with thinking about Pawāaraibu when we came to the Academy. And we directly found people that were totally into drones, that showed us their drones, and we were flying together like, through the Academy with our viewing goggles on, and this was quite great.
So you could learn something from them.
Yeah, totally. And this is really the greatest thing about the Academy, that you have a technical department which is really nice and that is quite skillful and can help you in several directions. You have a nice nice administration that is open for all your wishes and thoughts and tries to help you in this direction. And there's also a group of dramaturgs and directors that can help you with questions of how forming your work or how you can how it can come to be. This was nice.
It sounds really nice. Yeah.
And even after the fellowship, so the support is great. So we just get a new job because of a recommendation of the Academy, and this is great.
Wow.
So yeah, so the profit is really good, and so I think, yeah, it's only 5 months, but yeah, it's worth it for longer than these 5 months. So yeah, it was great there. So sometimes I really miss it because, especially now in Corona time, so it was so nice to be together with all these people. And one thing is that it's kind of a workshop, so it was possible to work there all the time during the pandemic, and this was also great. So we enjoyed the togetherness.
And how did those 5 months look like? So you had this idea just in mind, and yeah, you had 5 months to create and to do the whole thing, or were there special offers in addition?
I mean, all in all, I guess we had several steps to do before like ending or knowing what the work would look like in the end. You know, for us, it's often connected to long periods of research where we try to find people to talk to, like going to the open mining pits and walking around, looking at the different possible narratives that can open up there, and try to really get a great overview of then what are the possibilities into getting into different directions. And I guess then doing the work is like a rush in the end that is like a month or so that we are totally into working daily. And so the Academy gave us also the opportunity to have this free time, because it's for sure also connected to money, to have the time to do this research things now.
And at the end of the support period, all fellows presented their project outcome in a virtual exhibition within Mozilla Hubs, right? What did that look like?
Yeah, usually a presentation of the fellowship ends up in a huge presentation of all projects with many people. And the director told us, last time there were 300 people there, and it was so full and crazy atmosphere. And we're like, oh, okay, it's Corona time. So unfortunately, and so at one point it was clear that there will be no physical presentation, and fortunately they had a cooperation with the Gesellschaft der Dramaturgischen Gesellschaft. It's the Society of Dramaturgy, I think, in English, and they asked for they did their yearly meeting together with the Academy, and then it was clear, so, oh yes, we have 300 people virtually, maybe we can combine this to the end presentation, because for sure it would be very interesting for all the dramaturgs to see the projects. And that's why we started maybe beginning of December to plan the whole Mozilla Hubs thing. And we had 2 fellows in the Academy, Roman and Niels, and they were very into it, to the whole Mozilla Hubs thing. They are programming, and because it's open source, they're even in their fellowship they were dealing lots with how to bring their motion capturing or live chat bots, something like that. And so the idea was born, yes, let us do it there. And so one thing was, and I think this was the best idea of the whole team, to do a duplicate of the Academy in the virtual space. So we had one Mozilla Hubs room, and in this room, so you found everything you found in reality too. So there was, the light was on the same place, even the structure of the wall and the ceiling and the coffee machine in the little kitchen, it was totally the same. And
okay, every detail.
For sure, it had this 3D atmosphere, and we sat inside our lab in the Academy, being in Mozilla Hubs in the duplicate of the Academy for the event, and it was kind of strange because it was really a double thing. So, and after 6 hours being inside Mozilla Hubs in the Academy, we went crazy.
So sounds really crazy.
But the good thing about that all was, sure, it was crazy in a way, but we could meet with more than 200 persons and avatars in these spaces, and it was really a feeling of an end presentation. And every fellowship project was represented in an own Mozilla Hubs room, so it was a task to create an own room, to bring the project in that room, and to look how it could be. And so I think all projects were very different, and there were project with gaming characters, a film project, and our project, and every kind of media in a way. And so we decided at one point to work really only with Mozilla Hubs, because the potential and the things you can to do there and the media you can embed was great for us, because yeah, it's a space where you can archive 3D models forever in a way. So and for sure this is a good point for our story, so we can archive parts of the earth there. And yeah, so we decided to bring the drone in the virtual world and to give the possibility to all the visitors to travel through this yeah, body in a way, and through this archived media. And yeah, in a way, and at the end of the whole presentation, I would say everybody understands that it was not a try to have a compromise of an exhibition or of a presentation. So it was more a chance to learn and to learn about virtual spaces and to see how they work and how people can interact there. And for sure, to be honest, for this 300 people thing, they had technical support. So it was really necessary to have it, because yeah, at some point, there are people with old notebooks, so you need a bit technical knowledge about all this. And they had 9 hours of tutorials with all the people who joined. So
it was such a nice experience that afterwards we gave away just the link to the Mozilla Hubs room to different people, like throwing it out, and then they came back to us like, oh, okay, what should we do in here? What's happening? And so we decided to give like guided tours through the space, and to guide like a bunch of people through the spaces. That makes it very much easier than just throwing people in.
Yeah, it's absolutely not possible. So you really have to deal with people who only know how to write an office document, or to only know browsing in the internet. But if they have no gaming experience, it's so hard to move within that virtual spaces. So
yeah, virtual spaces is a virtual space something exclusive, so only for people that are that have experiences with digital devices, and yeah.
I would think it exactly the other way around, because the virtual space gives the opportunity to people that maybe are more connected to the virtual space than to the real theater space. I mean, there's a lot going on in the internet, and there are a lot of people that maybe don't feel addressed by the art we do in museums, or the art we do in theaters. And I think that this is also a great potential of virtual spaces, that this opens up more to a public that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's right. But it's, yeah, I think it's really a task of how to address people, and how to, yeah, you have to show them how to work with the virtual environment, how to move there. And yeah, and one important thing which I just learned is, first of all, we have to tell the people that the digital space is not only, or has not only potentials during COVID times, and so its potential is bigger than that, and it's a potential which exists on itself in a way, and we have to use it. And for sure that we can connect there with people all over the world, and we don't have to use an airplane for that. And especially for the art world, I would say that virtual spaces are great, because in former times 2 years ago, I would say it was clear. So I have to visit an exhibition. Yes, I step into the airplane, yeah, flying half an hour to another city, visit the exhibition, and go back. So, and it's absolutely not, yeah, so it's in our times, I would say, so I cannot accept that because it's so, yeah, it's so luxury, and it's possible to this in the internet, and yeah, and it's more so everybody can do this, so it's not connected to buy a ticket for an airplane, and yeah, so that's about the exclusivity. So you only need an internet access to go in and to say something. So, and this is a good, or it's a great potential, and especially when you go to these VR classes. So right now it's not, yeah, so only a few people have it at home, but I think in the next few years it will increase. And yeah, I can imagine that in 5 or 6 years, 1/3 of all the people have VR classes at home, and there you can enjoy this virtual world much more intense, and it's really an immersive thing. So you can step in, you're into it, and you can, yeah, you can talk to others, especially in these social places. You can see them, you can give them your hand in a way, and yeah, and you forget totally what's around you in the physical world. And yeah, I'm sure this is, yeah, it's not only positive, and it sounds kind of
it sounds as if this is more inclusive than exclusive in a way.
So yeah, I would say it's totally inclusive for a lot of people, because for example, when we did our last guided tour through our Mozilla Hubs space for Videonale 18, it was quite amazing, because they had this timetable where they scheduled our guided tour for Saturday 9 p.m. and just put the link, and there was no registration, so no procedure for registration. So we didn't really know who to expect or who would come. And in the end, it was really quite a mixed group of people coming from also all over the world. I mean, there were a lot of Germans, but I didn't know where the other people came from, but I guess there were some Chinese people from what I could see, and this was a great feeling, and I think this is like Jana said before, this is one of the main potentials I see for sure.
And one point is that, for example, in this evening, so we were doing our tour, and at one point I received a WhatsApp from my father, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm inside this room. So where are you?" And then so he first was in another room, but then he found us, and yeah, and then for him it was totally the first experience in the virtual space, and then I guided him around, and he was, "Oh yes, it's great, very interesting." And for sure I had to show him really everything, how to move, how to put sound on, how to work with a headset, but I expect that would this exhibition be in virtual space, my father had not the chance to come because he's 400 kilometers away, and it's maybe on an evening where he had no time, so it was just 1 hour, browse in and be there. And for me it was, especially in these times, totally nice to meet him in virtual space and to have this experience together. And and this is a chance which we can, or which we can profit on, which we can work on, and which we can work on, increase that chances, that that virtual space is really a space for meet, for share experiences, and for perceive a new environment in a way.
On the other hand, if we look into potentials of digital space, it's also nice as an artist to work with 3D models and stuff as a material, because it's like you have the coolest Lego on earth and build the world you can imagine. I mean, there's everything possible, and this is also like not only in world building, but also in maybe write new narratives and imagine different worlds and test them directly in virtual space.
Mm.
Yeah, in fact, you need only a good computer for that. So, and you can do it from everywhere. That's another thing. So, yeah, okay, they are connected. Much more question regarding energy consumption and power for the internet and for rendering engines. But this is completely another topic, I would say, and another discussions, but worth to discuss.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so maybe you can say a few words to Mozilla Hubs as an environment for art. What were your experiences with it? So you told us a lot before, but yes, maybe for those people who don't know Mozilla Hubs, what does it look like, and what are especially the potentials of Mozilla Hubs?
Yes, so the good thing is it's open source and it's for free, so everybody can use it, and you don't need the software for that. The software is included in a browser, so you only type in the browser, it's spoke, and then it pops up and it's there, and you can start to work with. And you've got a lot of presets, room spaces, objects you can load in, and so it's kind of German word Baukasten. I have to think of the English one. So, and yeah, and then you can start, and it's easy. But when it comes more to complicated stuff, especially when you're working with that as a tool for showing an artwork or for an exhibition space, it's much more complicated because there are some limitations. Because for sure it's accessible for everybody, that means that the border has to be very low, and that means that you cannot load in much data, so it's only restricted to 30, 40 MB of data, and so if you have 10 big images, it's 40 MB. So you have really to look, okay, yeah, let us be simple, let us be small in a way, and that's one thing why we work with different scenes. So because in every scene we can include different kinds of audio, images, 3D models, and then it's not too much for the several browsers. And yeah, but in general, you can load in there everything: media, video, 3D models, audio data, yeah, sound files, even special things like yeah, something like an intelligent chatbot or something like that. But then you need the coding knowledge, no? So it's really about, there are simple possibilities, but you can go really much deep into it, and yeah, and losing yourself there in a way. But yeah, it's very interesting because when you surf or browse in different Mozilla Hubs worlds, so you see different types of applications. So because yeah, sometimes it's kind of only a meeting space for different people, or for enjoying together live stream. Another scene is kind of an exhibition scene, and or there are even club scenes with partying and music environment. So, and yeah, you can do there everything in a way. So it's worth it to browse through.
Okay. Yes, really interesting insights into your work and to the fellowship program. Yes, and also into the possibilities in virtual spaces like Mozilla Hubs. So thank you for that. Is there a website of your projects, yes, of your duo?
Yes, our website is really easy to find. It's www.thisisinternet.de. And there you can find our works. You can look at Pawāaraibu. It's open for everyone to look at the works. And if you have further questions, please feel free to contact us, to write us, and we are happy to talk.
Yes, for sure. And yeah, and if you want, especially for the first thing, for the DJing thing, it's Alice and Bob.
Okay, so thank you for being my guest, and yes, it was a really interesting interview today. I wish you all the best for your upcoming projects, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you.